I was out here at the eastern pad. But that's
50 miles east.
from where we found him.
Hey,
Wait. Do you know where your parents are? Your family?
I guess he was on a picnic or a camping trip. He wandered off and got himself lost.
Been out in the woods, doing things his own way. Sounds like a boy after your own heart.
How long has he been out there?
6 years.
Nobody can survive in that forest for 6 years. At least not alone.
You'll see. I have Elliot.
Who's Elliot?
I need to get back to him. He gets scared when I'm gone.
Is Elliot a person?
No, he looks like a dragon. What's a dragon? That's a dragon.
You don't have to run anymore, Pete. You can stay with us.
This thing is dangerous.
We don't want to leave you, but he'll come looking for you. What's gonna happen to Elliot?
You have no idea what this thing is capable of.
Let's go hunting.
You're very brave. Did you know that? You might be the bravest boy I've ever met.
Attention all units. We're eastbound on Millhaven Road in pursuit of a
Dragon! It's a dragon!
You can't say dragon over the radio.
Hollywood has many movies and TV shows depicting dragons or dragon-like characters, and Disney's remake of its classic movie Pete's Dragon is no exception. I believe it is very interesting, the timing of this movie, and I think we need to question as to why we are seeing so many types of these movies and TV shows. I think there is definitely an agenda that is being shown. I believe we are being prepared for the arrival of the dragon, and the Illuminati, the powers that be, are trying to get the world to fall in love with the dragon. I believe it's only a matter of time before he appears on the scene. It says, the word of God says that he is going to be thrown out of heaven very soon. And you know, even as we watch the trailer early in this video, I believe it speaks for itself. I don't think I even need to really break down anything from that trailer. In fact, I am going to talk about Pete's Dragon and link it to many other movies and articles of that nature, just so you can see for yourself how many movies and how much we have been programmed for decades for the arrival of the actual dragon that is coming very soon. So I'd just like to go over some basic things and then link it to other interesting facts. Okay, so as we look at IMDb here, of course, Pete's Dragon is a movie all about a dragon, of course, the adventures of an orphan boy named Pete and his best friend Elliot, who just so happens to be a dragon. Okay, and as we go down further, it says that Pete, a boy, is found in a forest. Apparently he's been living there for 6 years, go figure the number 6, after an accident took his parents. A ranger named Grace decides to take him in, and when she asks him how he survived all by himself, he says he had a friend, Elliot, with him. He draws a picture of Elliot, and it's a picture of a dragon. Grace takes the picture to her father, who claims that years ago he encountered a dragon in the forest. Grace takes Pete back to the forest, and he shows them where he lives, and Elliot. A man saw Elliot, and when he tells about his experience and he is not believed, he sets out to prove by capturing the dragon. So it's interesting that the main character who finds him, her name is Grace, talking about the grace of God, the grace that sent Yeshua HaMashiac, Jesus Christ, to save us from the dragon. And now the main character, or one of the main characters of the movie, is named Grace. You know, and the person who plays Grace is a person by the name of Bryce Dallas Howard. Many of you are familiar with her work. She is no stranger to creature or dragon-like movies. She was in the recent Jurassic World, and of course you see her dressed all in white, of course, facing a dragon-like character, or the major enemy or creature of the last Jurassic Park installment. All right, you've got another person who was starring in this movie, Robert Redford. He has been in many New World Order Illuminati movies, including the recent Winter Soldier, Captain America, that came out a couple of years ago. One of his famous lines that I can never forget, what he said in that movie, is that we need to, in order to build a new world, we need to tear the old one down. All right, so of course, Robert Redford is no stranger to Illuminati predictive programming. Then we've got Wes Bentley, who's also stars in Pete's Dragon. He is also no stranger to playing demonic characters. Here he is playing a person by the name of Blackheart. I wouldn't say a person, he's a demonic character in the movie Ghost Rider, and he was basically the main enemy. I believe he played the son of Satan in that movie. All right, so he was basically the main enemy in that movie. But, you know, when we take a look back at Pete's Dragon, you know, Pete was lost for 6 years, and again, go figure 6. I find it interesting that the dragon himself, Elliot, is green. I think that is code for nature worship for Cernunnos, the two-horned beast, Baphomet, and nature worship, all that kind of stuff. I believe that's what's going on here. I believe that even though the dragon is Pete's best friend, they're trying to make it seem like the dragon is a good guy, he's a great character, he's a protector, he takes care of Pete, okay, so that Pete is not alone, he has his friend, the dragon. Okay, the dragon, as you saw in the trailer, he can hide in plain sight, he can disappear and reappear at will, he can literally operate like the devil does, hiding in plain sight. Okay, Pete is also shown to be brave, he's called the bravest boy ever, okay, making it seem like he's such a hero for being, you know, the friend of the dragon. And interestingly enough, the people that want to destroy the dragon, they are looked on as the enemy. Okay, so I find that quite interesting. Yet again, they like to make make the reversal, as the people who are against the dragon, they're the bad people, and the people who are for the dragon, like Pete, they are the heroes, they are the brave ones. Okay, so I think that this is yet again more programming to get people to to fall in love with the dragon. Another thing I find really interesting is the fact that the name of the dragon is Elliot. And when you look at the name Elliot, in the Greek, it actually is a form of the Hebrew Elijah, meaning Jehovah is God. Okay, so the fact that they named this dragon Elliot, okay, Disney is definitely part of the Illuminati. We know that Walt Disney was a 33-degree Freemason, or at least many records show that to be true. And we know that Disney has a lot of predictive programming and subliminal messages. How interesting that this dragon is named Elliot, which is another way of saying Jehovah God. So we know that the devil loves to counterfeit God. He loves to counterfeit Jehovah, Elohim, Yahweh. So interesting that he's calling himself Elliot in this movie. All right, so that definitely, quite the ironic slash perverted stuff going on here. Jehovah will never be the dragon. Jehovah, there's only one Jehovah, Yahweh, and his son Yeshua HaMashiac, and the devil will never be that. Let's move on to some other things I find interesting that we have seen yet again from Disney. Many of you probably know of a movie called Tinkerbell and the Legend of the NeverBeast. This is, of course, the 6th installment of Tinkerbell. And what I find really interesting about this movie is that they meet, of course, a particular beast called the NeverBeast. Okay, and it talks about how they found this creature that they had never seen before. Apparently one of the fairies, Fawn, finds this creature. After observing its behavior, she surmises that it has traits similar to many different animals she's encountered, save for one peculiar activity. The beast is building mysterious towers of rock in each of the 4 sides of Pixie Hollow. She names him Gruff. So it's interesting, the 4 sides, like the 4 corners of the earth, okay, I think is also code for the 4th age that's about to end, and the 5th age is coming in. Anyways, meanwhile, in Pixie Hollow, an ambitious scout fairy named Nyx also heard the roar and decides to investigate. She too happened upon the beast and does research in the fairy lore library to find out what she's up against. Using some pieces of information gathered from several torn pages of an undisclosed animal book, she discovers that Gruff is a creature that awakens about once every 1,000 years, where it would transform into an even more ferocious beast that could destroy Pixie Hollow with a mysterious series of events that leads to a deadly storm. Queen Clarion urges both Fawn and Nyx to work together to do the right thing regarding the protection of Pixie Hollow. Each fairy takes his edict to mean different things. Fawn sets out to help Gruff complete whatever mysterious task he intends to carry out, while Nyx is determined to capture him and prevent the impending storm. Gruff indeed transforms into the monster depicted in the fairy lore, but his intentions are a surprise to all, as Gruff is in fact trying to save Pixie Hollow by collecting all of the lightning through the towers he built, thus preventing them from hitting the trees and causing a fire. He had saved Tink from a falling tree and protects Nyx from a lightning blast. Fawn has Gruff fly high into the sky, where he absorbs the lightning storm. This causes the storm to end, to burn Gruff's wings, and kills Fawn. The NeverBeast revives her with a small shock of the lightning he absorbed. Following the event, Gruff feels the urge to go back into hibernation, and the fairies sadly send him off to a cave where he will sleep for another 1,000 years. Very interesting that the lightning, again a depiction of Satan, that he's able to revive Fawn, even though she died, by his power. You know, the devil loves to counterfeit what the Lord can do, because only the Lord can raise the dead, not Satan. Okay, then he goes into hibernation for 1,000 years. I find this really interesting because in Revelation 20 we see the same kind of thing where, you know, the dragon, when the angel comes down out of heaven having the key to the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand, he laid hold of the dragon, that serpent of old, who was called the devil and Satan, and bound him for what? 1,000 years. Okay, so he is bound for 1,000 years. So funny enough that in Tinkerbell and the NeverBeast, here this dragon also awakens after 1,000 years. He does his thing. He saves Pixie Hollow, literally again making the dragon look like he saves the world, and then he goes back and hibernates for 1,000 years. And the thing that made me sick about this movie is that at the end of this, the fairies are all in love with this dragon. They're literally, you know, singing love songs to him. They don't want him to go into hibernation, and so he is yet again made to be the hero. There's some pictures of him. He comes like this, you know, lovable kind of creature, and then he transforms into this two-horned dragon, and he saves Pixie Hollow. He absorbs this lightning. He builds these 4 towers, and to me, seemingly typifying the end of the 4th age. You got the 4 major lightning bolts here, and here is Gruff down below. I believe this is the opening of the 5th age coming out, the dragon about to be cast out. I believe we are being shown this on a regular basis. So yet again, the dragon being shown to be the hero, not the enemy, but to be the hero. All right, even as we keep going, the programming for this dragon and the beast I find honestly fascinating. These are a picture of Kinder toys that you get, you know, in these Kinder Joy eggs. And, you know, my son actually loves these Kinder toys, but what I find real fascinating is that he recently got Kinder toys in his egg that were they were bracelets. One was of a dragon and one was of this green kind of beast looking thing. And as soon as I saw this, you know, it just totally reminded me of Revelation 13, of the dragon and the beast. Okay, so we know that in Revelation 12 the dragon is cast out, and then in Revelation 13 the beast out of the sea rises, and I saw a beast rise like a leopard, feet like a bear. Okay, the dragon gave him his power, his throne, and great authority. Okay, so then it says that the whole world marveled and followed the beast. So they worshiped the dragon who gave authority to the beast, and they worshiped the beast. So again, more predictive programming right in Kinder Toys as well. We got one bracelet that's the dragon, one bracelet that's literally the beast. It's seeming like an alien looking kind of creature. One is the dragon. So you can see the dragon and the beast, basically Satan and the son of Satan. All of this stuff, even in toys, we see many, many times, and it's the same thing playing out right from the book of Revelation. It's amazing as to why, you know, the Lord wants us to study Revelation. Even it's the only book that gives a blessing for reading it, for heeding it, for taking to heart, and for teaching it. We need to study the book of Revelation because so many of these things are being played out right in plain sight. In fact, these bracelets and these Kinder toys came out in 2015. My son ended up getting both of these. I actually had him throw them away. I did not want him wearing anything that depicted the dragon or the beast. It's like literally like a way of preparing children to wear the mark of the beast on them. But here they are right in a Kinder toy. All right, so even as we keep going, we know that the dragon is also one of the main symbols of China. The red flaming dragon is a symbol of China. Yet again, I believe people are being prepared for what is coming, that the dragon is about to be thrown out of heaven. There are so many movies and TV shows that talk about the same thing. We've got Enter the Dragon. Many of us remember this movie. Of course, you know, if we're asleep and we're not awake to what is going on, you know, we can look at this as a great action movie. There was a great story. Of course, many of us remember this classic Bruce Lee film, and of course, it was great action. A lot of great, good stuff happening in this movie. But of course, the movie Enter the Dragon, constantly this dragon imagery is being put into our heads. This idea of entering the dragon, or this idea of accepting the dragon, is constantly being bombarded into our heads. We also know of a movie named The Red Dragon. This was one of the installments of, I believe, Silence of the Lambs with Anthony Hopkins and other movies, but of course it was called Red Dragon. Yet again, more dragon, two-horned Baphomet symbology going on here. And so yet again, constantly we are being bombarded with the dragon. I believe it's all code for the dragon that is coming very soon. Of course, the show Lucifer came out earlier this year in 2016, made its debut. I believe it has become a big hit with many people. And, he comes as this suave-looking, debonair kind of person who, I think according to the story, that Lucifer just decides to leave hell and come to earth and open a nightclub and live a luxurious life. And apparently he's even helping the police and doing all sorts of good things. He's trying to make it seem like he's not really a bad guy. But of course, we all know, who are awake. We know, if we know what the Bible says, that Lucifer is not a good guy. He is definitely not the person to trust, and no one should really even ask any help from this guy. But of course, more predictive programming. Lucifer is literally making his appearance on prime time and is showing himself to the world. But many people seem to be, falling and fawning all over this guy instead of really seeing him for what he is. Many remember the mini-series that came out late last year, Childhood's End, yet again depicting the arrival of the dragon. This, of course, is a book series, one book by Arthur C. Clarke, who wrote a book about the dragon coming and Childhood's End, where basically the end of the world happens, but it all is heralded by the arrival of this dragon-like character, basically Baphomet, whatever you want to call him, his name was Corellin, okay, and he did all kinds of signs and wonders, raised people from the dead, healed people, and he of course wants to be depicted with children. Yet again, more Baphomet imagery. The devil wants to be seen as a child-loving kind of loving character, but this is just all nonsense. This is all counterfeit. This is not real. The devil just hates everybody, and the dragon is coming with great wrath because he knows that his time is short. But we are being shown on TV and basically from Hollywood that the dragon is great. The Illuminati wants people to love the dragon, and he's a good guy. He has powers. He can do great things. He's going to help the world, and the world's going to get better and ascend to the next plane with the power of the dragon. These are all these subliminal messages that are being portrayed and put into our minds by a lot of these TV shows and movies. Of course, we remember a show even from the 80s called V for Visitors. Of course, there was a newer one that came out, not that long ago. But yet again, these supposed space aliens came from a different world. And even though they looked like human beings, they were anything but human. Underneath, they were reptilian. They basically are another form of the dragon. There you go. You can see the main character in the original series has the reptilian eye. So really, we can see yet again what is going on here. This is just another depiction of the dragon. And yet again, of course, they come from space. They come from the sky because the dragon is going to be thrown out of heaven very soon. This is all heralding the arrival of the dragon. And of course, many know that just recently schools in the United States are having this after-school Satan club. I believe this is what has been being propagated by Hollywood, and of course it's being played out in everyday society to the point where schools now are having after-school Satan clubs. Even this image is very disturbing, where you see this little girl. I would say this girl's maybe not even 10 years old, and here she is depicting herself with two horns and a tail and a pitchfork. I mean, definitely disturbing, and this is what we are being prepared for. The fact that society has become so dumbed down, with all of this stuff of the dragon, of Baphomet, of Lucifer, people don't seem to care anymore. They think it's fine. They think it's just another religion. They think that Satan is great, or at least that is what we're being told and prepared for by so many of these TV shows and movies. And Pete's Dragon is just yet one of many movies and TV shows depicting the dragon as a good guy. Another toy even that is coming out, or I believe has come out recently by Hasbro, under the For Real baby section or something like that, sorry, For Real Friends, is yet again a dragon, and his name is Torch. He even blows smoke or fire, or maybe not real fire, but I think he blows smoke out of his mouth, and it is definitely a dragon. It is being marketed as Hasbro's fire-breathing animatronic pet dragon. So this thing moves around. It, I believe it takes batteries, and it, it lights up, it breathes fire, apparently breathes smoke. So, and it's called Torch. Interestingly enough, we know that according to Revelation 12, when the dragon gets thrown out of heaven, he is angry because he knows that his time is short. It's interesting that this dragon is called Torch, because literally the dragon, Satan in real life, I believe he is basically going to torch this earth. Okay, so I find it interesting that they're calling this dragon toy Torch. And what I found even more interesting is when I took that name for real and put it into the gematria calculator, it comes up to 472, which, go figure, adds up to 13 Illuminati bloodlines, or a number of Illuminati families. But look at this, Phoenix. Well, could you say Rise of the Phoenix? Dragon bloodlines. Okay, fifth column, even that was a thing or a group of people in the show V. Satanic Message, Knights of Malta. Okay, all kinds of stuff coming with this. Rise of the Phoenix, Dragon Bloodlines. Okay, so that's coming from the gematria calculator for this for real. All right, which I find very fascinating. Then, to top it all off, we are being shown, or have been shown, so many movies with regard to the dragon. Of course, we were talking about Pete's Dragon. We got another movie called Dragon Slayer from 1981. We've got The Reluctant Dragon. Mulan also showed dragons like Mushu, who was a seemingly friendly dragon, which is right here, Mushu. We've got Sleeping Beauty, who also had the dragon, where the main character, the evil queen, was able to transform herself into a serpent-like dragon, exactly what is depicted in Revelation. We have Maleficent, who yet again also represents the dragon. She's the two-horned beast. Okay, we've got even movies like How to Train Your Dragon. Okay, then we've got the original classic Walt Disney's Pete's Dragon. So we have been programmed to think that dragons are wonderful, that dragons are great. Even in How to Train Your Dragon, they're making dragons look to be wonderful creatures, that you can train them, that they can be your friend, that they can do all kinds of great things. There's so many benefits to having a pet dragon. So I believe this is all Illuminati programming. All right, really, when we look even into Disney, we know that Disney is completely Illuminati. You can see the 666 right in their logo. We know that Disney even owns most of the media. So really, we are being fed so much of propaganda regarding the dragon. I believe that Disney and Hollywood and all these other movie companies, they are trying to prepare the masses to accept the arrival of the dragon, because according to Revelation 12, there is going to be a war in heaven. And Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Okay, and later on, people in heaven talk about, rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them, but woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. Okay, so the dragon, the great dragon, is about to be cast down, and he is coming with great wrath. I believe he's coming with great wrath, and he is going to torch the place. Okay, interestingly enough, this dragon is named Torch, the Hasbro for real fire-breathing dragon named Torch. He is coming, okay, the dragon with great wrath. And we are being prepared for this by so many movies and TV shows, making the dragon look like a great guy, making him look suave, making him look cool, making him look appealing, making him look like he's your best friend, that he has powers, that he can help the world. But he is actually coming in great wrath. He is coming to deceive the world. So I pray that you are in Christ. He is the only one that can save you from this world, because this world is rejecting the true Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiac, Jesus the Christ. And what are they going to get? They are going to get the dragon. They are rejecting Jesus. They are going to get Satan and the son of Satan. They're going to get the dragon and the beast. as is being shown in so many things. We are being shown the dragon and the beast in so many different ways, and this is exactly what is coming. Lucifer, the dragon, is coming. He wants to be worshipped by this world, and I pray that you surrender your life to Yeshua, because he is the only one that can save us from the destruction that is coming upon this world. Even though Satan wants to rule this world for himself, he will never do that. It is never going to happen, even though the Illuminati wants to prepare us for the rule of the dragon, for the rule of their God. Thank the Lord God, Abba, Yahweh, our Father, that he has a plan and that he is going to destroy the dragon and his kingdom, and the kingdom of Yeshua will reign forever. It will never end. The kingdom of the dragon is definitely going to come crashing down. So I thank you for checking out this video. I also thank you for the great support that you have shown me after the last video that I spoke about basically having to change my name on YouTube. Again, I go by In Plain Sight. Please send a request to join the Facebook page. If you already haven't, you are more than welcome. And I thank you again for your support. And until next time, God bless you. This has been C.A. Silva reporting for What's Shown to Us in Plain Sight.
New, it's Torch, my blazing dragon.
Ready, Torch?
When I do
You're gonna love your marshmallow treat.
my for real friend does that. When I do this, Torch does that. I do this, my for real friend does that. It's Torch. He's full of surprises just like you. Batteries and distilled water not included.